Good morning and welcome back to the Little French Homestead. If you are new today, my name is Sherry. Welcome. So I have to ask, has this ever happened to anybody? That the other day, my husband and I were sitting down, we're just watching some TV, and my daughter said, I want some ice cream. I'm like, go ahead. You know, I usually buy the buy one, get one free ice creams. And so I usually get 6. I buy it once a month and they can go ahead and have as much as they want. That is our beautiful new kitty Jinx. Tell you that in a second. So she goes and opens up this freezer chest right here and discovers that the ice cream has melted. Well, we were quite upset. So my husband and I, we got off the couch and we ran over here real quick and we took a look at this, and it seems our new little girl Jinx could fit right here against the wall, and she turned off the power strip. So we caught it in time, thankfully. I mean, yes, this was frozen, but all of my meats and stuff that are in here, because I thankfully keep them all in these containers. Right now I have a pizza, but in here is our chicken. I have these all divided up. I did a video on it, which I can link, but I've got chicken and pork and then ham and like ground beef all in these. This freezer was perfectly fine. But this freezer, the ice around the end started falling in. So that is what I'm gonna do today. I have a bunch of meal prepping that I need to go ahead and get done, but I have to clean this out first in order to go ahead and then fully stock this, knowing that there's no more ice and everything is good. Thankfully, we didn't lose anything. Between this and then this, there was about $400, maybe $450 worth of meat, frozen veggies and stuff. So I am thankful that she had asked for ice cream, even though she doesn't really have to ask us. If she's got her ice cream, she eats it. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this out real quick. And while I'm there, I'm just gonna go ahead and do a quick little inventory. I just took a bunch of meat out so I can thaw it. And we will go ahead and bring you back once these are all clean. I'm gonna give you a quick little show before I do. I gotta move some stuff around. Okay, so these items here are all still so frozen, but you can see how everything, all the ice and everything has all come down. What I'm gonna have to do with this is I'm gonna shut this off so I can grab all of this stuff. Well, actually, yeah, see, some of these are still like, they're so frozen in there. I can't even move them. I'm going to allow this to thaw for a little bit, and then I've got everything, thankfully, fits in this freezer over here. Let me show you that real quick. I got everything that fits in here, so we'll go ahead and take care of this and allow this to thaw. Okay, so while we wait for my freezer chest to go ahead and thaw out just a little bit, I'm still gonna go ahead and start prepping everything. Now I've got my recipes for this week. We are doing 6 completely different recipes. I've never used these before. But before I go ahead and, like I said, put everything back in my freezer chest, needed that cleaned out, but I can prep all this stuff. So I am dressed all in black today, so I figured I'd add a nice colorful garment. So I do have to say this, it was super funny. So about, I want to say maybe like 3 weeks, maybe almost a month ago, because I live near my mom and sometimes she does watch my videos. And it's funny, she was noticing that I was mixing a whole bunch of ground beef and stuff into one bowl. And so she goes, you know, I have a really big super bowl. So she gave this to me so I can have now a really big bowl. So she finally, after 3 weeks, remembered to give it to me. She came over yesterday. It was my husband's birthday. And it was just so funny. She's like, here's the silver bowl. And I'm like, thank you, because I keep forgetting to ask for it as well. So these onions here are from our last shopping trip to the store to go pick everything all up. Now we did a $400 Sam's Club pickup a couple of days ago. I didn't film it. Sometimes I do film them, sometimes I don't. That time we did not. We have had quite a busy week this week. So my daughter, Allie and Abby, so I have twins. If you are new here to my channel, I have twin 14-year-old girls. I have a 23-year-old son who still does live at home, and a 34-year-old daughter who has a boyfriend and lives out on her own. Well, it's been so busy that's why on Thursday I had posted there was going to be no video. Life just took over, and it really did. So having to do on Monday, go up to the orthodontist, and both of them had the orthodontist appointment. They both have had now rubber bands on both sides of their teeth, so they're feeling it. They're not liking it. But whoop, that one's bad. All right, see, that's why I wanted to get rid of these ones first. So I'll come back to the Sam's Club thing in just a minute. So I am going to actually throw this right in the trash. I can feel it burning my eyes. I just got a little bit of that off there. Whoo, I can feel that. No, I'm not saving any of that stuff. I just have a bowl there so I can go ahead and just throw all this stuff in there. But, so we had gone up there. They had taken care of the girls' teeth, put the rubber bands in. Yes, both of them are in a little bit of pain. They got to take the rubber bands off when they eat. So that's been fun. So they haven't really eaten much this week, except, you know, ramen or ice cream because it hurts. And I was like, you know, that's totally fine. Well, Tuesday I went to work. And then Wednesday, Abigail had her audiology appointment to get her new hearing aids put in. Now, if you haven't been with me, she has had like 16 surgeries throughout her whole life about her hearing aid, about her ears. They have tried everything, believe us, but unfortunately nothing has worked. So this time what they did is put in, on the left-hand side, they did a little bit of a bone shave, and they put in a magnet. Now the magnet correlates to the cochlear implants. So they put the magnet there, and now she's got a cochlear device that attaches to it. Now, she used to do the cochlear headband, but she was getting headaches and it was rubbing here. There were some days where it would be really raw, and she'd get rashes. So she's just like, Mom, I really want to try the implant. And we said, sure, no problem. So obviously she qualified for it. So we went down and had that done about a month ago or so. So she just went for her 4-week checkup with her doctor, and then the ladies that do the implants. We had to go up twice to do the implant stuff, and everything has been worked out perfectly. So that was done on Wednesday, and then Thursday I had to work, and then Friday, even though I didn't have to work on Friday because our job was closed, we were doing a function. That is when my husband and I went to Sam's, and we did a little Sam pickup, and boy, we've just been running around. Yesterday, when normally I try to do a lot of videos, work needed me to be there for a little bit. Some people were having a flea market going on, and they needed our facility open to someone to unlock it. So I had gone back and forth several times, and then the last time I had to go back down there, I had to close it all up. And then last night was my husband's birthday, so he asked if we had any steaks, and I says, well, even if we did, they're all frozen. This was like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, it was about 1:30 in the afternoon. So as I was heading back down there to close everything all up, I went and bought a couple of steaks. So we had some steaks and mashed potatoes and some broccoli last night for dinner. But, oh, I'm moving that out of the way. So I haven't had any time to do anything. So I am finally able to breathe right now, both literally and figuratively. My cold has obviously cleared up very well, which I am super happy. Every once in a while, I will feel a little scratchy on the throat and have to give myself a cough. But other than that, I am perfectly fine. But yeah, this week was super busy. Now, this coming week, we really don't have any appointments or anything like that. So I was just like, I'm going to make life easy for myself, and I'm going to go ahead and do some meal prepping. I need several onions for some recipes that I got. So I'm going to go ahead and cut up the 3 onions, dice those all up, put them in my container, and then I am going to continue cutting more onions as I can. I want to make some more soup starters. Now, I love having soup starters in my refrigerator, not my refrigerator, in my freezer. They are so quick and easy to go ahead and do. This is what this bowl is going to hold. I've got some organic carrots, and I got some celery, and then I've got another 10-pound bag of onions. So I'm just going to be chopping away and taking care of everything. So put glasses on. That's not going to protect me from the crying, but at least I can see what I am doing. Now I'm doing my cutting first. Let me do this too. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and use my handy dandy cutter for all this. I'm just going to cut this one since I already did, because these are about the size that you'll need for mise en place anyway. All right, I'm just going to get a chopping. So while I was in the process of cutting all of those onions, dicing up all of the celery, and then peeling and dicing up the carrots, you want to make sure that they are all pretty uniformed. That way, when you go ahead and cook them, they all cook evenly and they are going to be ready all at the same time. I absolutely love having these soup starters ready to go for whatever meal that I am using them for. I have been making these now for well over a year, and they are simply fantastic to have as meal prep that goes right in your freezer, and they can stay in the freezer for about a year, so you don't have to worry if they ever go bad. All right, so we're down to the last little bit. I've done 5 pounds of carrots. I've done 2.5 pounds of celery. Now, I did not use all of the celery and the carrots for this. I did fill up some carrots here for us for meal prep. But I want to go ahead and finish doing this first. I love these little handy containers. I got these at Amazon. So I've got now all the diced carrots. I got my onions that I'm going to use. And I did leave some celery left whole. When I mentioned to my husband that I was going to be doing a video so I could go ahead and get my soup starters all set, he's like, oh good, he's been missing celery. So I was like, good, now you can have some. So to go ahead and just do the soup starters real quick, I'm just going to put these containers out. I do not know how many I'm going to be able to make. This is quite a bit in here. I probably did, I'm trying to think, maybe like 7 onions, probably 2 pounds of celery, and I think that was about 8 to 10 carrots. So if you want to make a lot less, you sure can. I'm just giving this a good mix, making sure a lid can fit safely on this, and just filling this all up. And then this, you go ahead and freeze it when you need to go ahead and do your soup starters, or you just need to go ahead and even have this in a regular meal for like chicken pot pies, chicken noodle soups, or anything like that. Sometimes I even just do it for whatever soups I need. I have it all ready to go. Now I'm just going to go ahead and finish putting all this in here. Let me get a little bit more left. Now my freezer again is still not thawed out. So what I will probably have to do is wait till much later, or maybe show you in another video what it ended up look like. All of these here are just simply going to go ahead and live in my refrigerator until the freezer is frozen again, and I've cleaned it. I'm just trying to make sure. These are 16 ounces, by the way, if you need it. I'll go ahead and I'll link down below. All right, let me just grab a couple more because it looks like I'm almost done. Hold on one second. We have a little bit of a mess going on down there. So that is a project for another day. Alrighty. So I'm just going to go ahead and just give the sides a good little scrape. that should go ahead and fill up this nicely. I can add a couple of more here and there. And now we are done. So let me see how many I got. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. So this will keep us going for 13 more meals. All right, so if you like this video, go ahead and like, share, but most importantly, go ahead and subscribe. And as always, keep on cooking. Bye.